What's up? This is your JOCR all about Apple, and today we are talking about the iPhone 17. I can say right off the bat that for many people this is the near perfect iPhone. To be honest, I can't even remember the last time you got so much iPhone for your money with a standard model. But let's start at the beginning, because from the outside you might think that Apple just took the iPhone 16, gave it a new color and called it a day. The iPhone 17 looks exactly like the iPhone 16, at least in terms of shape. That may be boring, but it's not a bad thing. The frame is made of matte aluminum and the back is made of matte glass. So you don't have to worry about fingerprints. It also feels soft and comfortable in your hand, and the action button and the camera controls are also part of it. You only really see a difference when you turn on the iPhone. Then you notice thinner screen bezels, which incidentally give the iPhone 17 a 6.3-inch display instead of 6.1 inches like the iPhone 16. Depending on the environment, you also notice that the display is brighter outdoors. It reaches up to 3000 nits of brightness, which is on par with the iPhone 17 Pro and more than enough to see the display clearly in bright sunlight. It gets even better when you start using the iPhone. You'll notice that animations, scrolling and other movements are somehow smoother, and that's because Apple has finally given the standard iPhone promotion a higher refresh rate. I know there are people who won't notice this, but it certainly won't hurt anyone or be a negative. And if you use it for a while and then pick up a display without this higher refresh rate, you'll notice that something is different and doesn't seem as smooth as before. But that's not all for the display, because Always On is also making its debut on the standard iPhone. The feature that when the iPhone is locked, the screen isn't just black, but continues to display the time and complications, for example. All in all, this means that the iPhone 17 Pro and the normal 17 are completely equivalent in terms of display technology. You simply can't get a better display in an iPhone right now. In my opinion, that alone is a huge upgrade. But it doesn't stop there, because Apple has also optimized the inside on the iPhone 17, starting with the battery. On paper, it's only 3.6% larger, but according to Apple, that means 8 hours more video playback. And from my testing, I can say that I saw absolutely no difference compared to the normal Pro. I got through most days reliably with both iPhones, so I would say the iPhone 17 is on par with the iPhone 17 Pro. On busy days with a lot of 5G and navigation, it can be a bit tight, but for everyday use, it's usually totally enough for me. Sure, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is even better simply because of its size and lasts even longer, but the iPhone 17 still does a solid and reliable job in this regard. A second change under the hood is the processor. For now, we have an A19 chip. I have to be honest, for me, the days when the chip made a difference in everyday use are long gone. A18, A19, A19 Pro, I never felt like I was being slowed down. Everything runs smoothly and exactly as it should. I think those who really need an iPhone 17 Pro with an A19 Pro chip know that, and for everyone else, I see absolutely no reason why the A19 shouldn't be enough. Let's move on to the cameras, and yes, cameras in the plural, because Apple has made significant improvements to both the front camera and the ultra wide angle camera on the back. The front camera now offers 18 megapixels instead of 12, and you can see the difference. In addition, the sensor is square, which in practice means that you can take selfies and videos both vertically and horizontally without having to rotate the iPhone. The iPhone can also automatically enlarge the image if it detects that there are more people in the picture. In video calls, it also enables center stage, which we previously only had on the Mac and on the iPad. Two other nice side effects of the new front camera are videos that are now significantly better stabilized and the option to record a video with the front and the rear cameras at the same time, which then looks a little bit like a FaceTime call. The ultra wide angle camera on the back has been upgraded from 12 to 48 megapixels, putting it on par with the Pro models. So far, we can say that everything that was already good about the iPhone 16 is still good, and everything else has been significantly improved, from the display to the battery and to the cameras. The only question now is, what's the catch? It's certainly not the price, which remains exactly where it was before. In fact, there are only a handful of things that speak against the iPhone 17 and in favor of a Pro model. How important these are will vary from person to person, but let's go through them briefly. Firstly, there is no telephoto camera. In my opinion, this is the biggest weakness because the 2x optical zoom is the limit. You can still get 10x digitally, but the quality is only of limited use. A true 3x, 4x, 5x or even 8x optical zoom is reserved for the Pro models. I would say that 90% of my pictures are taken with the main camera with 1x or 2x zoom, but having the option to get a little closer here and there is tempting. Whether this temptation is worth $300 extra charge from the 17 to the 17 Pro is up to each individual to decide. The second limitation is likely to be the USB port. Apple uses USB 2 here, while the Pro has USB 3. That makes a significant difference, but only if you transfer large amounts of data via the USB-C port. I don't think that's the case for many people, so I wouldn't rate this limitation too highly. Thirdly, we also need to talk about the Pro video features. If you want ProRes, 4K, 120 FPS, Apple Lock 2 or Genlock, you only get all of that with the Pro models and not here with the iPhone 17. If you're hearing these terms for the first time, don't worry, the iPhone 17 should serve you well because the video mode here is very powerful even without these Pro features. Fourthly, we have to mention the LiDAR sensor, which has been reserved for the Pro models for years and, at least in theory, improves autofocus, portrait mode and AR functions. In practice, however, I have to say that I can't really see any difference, at least when it comes to autofocus and portrait mode. So it's time for the conclusion, and what I can definitely say is that the iPhone 17 is an extremely strong overall package and probably the best iPhone in terms of value for money in years. Anyone who can do without a telephoto camera and a few relatively niche Pro features and who doesn't need the eye-catching design of the iPhone Air or the new flashy design of a Pro model will get a fantastic iPhone with the iPhone 17. Basically anyone who currently uses a standard iPhone can consider upgrading, because I would argue that it would be a noticeable upgrade even for the iPhone 16 users. However, it should be interesting for anyone who currently uses an iPhone 12, 13 or 14. Well, that's all from me right now. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up, and if you want, please subscribe, and we would see us in the next video. Thank you all for watching. See you guys soon. Bye bye.